All right, so this is how you select stocks for day trading. Um, First, I'm going to go over the problem I had with selecting stocks for day trading, and then I'm going to go over the solution I came up with. So, the problem I had with selecting stocks was that I would see like 100% appreciation on a stock, and I would not get that 100% appreciation on the stock. I would invest in it when it fell, and then it would, let's say, fall further, and I would lose money, I would be upset, and I didn't like that. Okay? The next problem was I would have stocks appearing on my watch list, and these were stocks that were like 5% or whatever percentage, like a much lower percentage. And then by the time I saw it, it had already gone up, like, say, 60%. So I was like, what the heck? I want a part of that. But I don't get it because I only see it at 70%. By the time it's reached 70%, it may as well go down after that. So that's the problem. Okay? The solution I came up with was first I tried to use Python. With Python, I found that you have to do some like very complicated stuff. Like you have to buy um, like access to exchange data. I suppose like with I think Alpha Vantage was probably one of the best ones, but I don't want to do that. At least I don't want to do it yet. And yeah, this way I came up with works great. So what I did was I had my stock screener. I exported all the tickers in my stock screener, well, all the data from my stock screener. So uh, whatever. I was only looking for the tickers for my stock screener. I exported it into a CSV file for Excel. So I had my CSV file. Uh, from there, I used an add-in, sorry, not an app, an add-in for Excel called Stock Connector by a guy named Michael Saunders. And with this add-in, you can connect a ticker to its real-time price and real-time percent change. I didn't notice that there was a percent change the first time I used it, and now that I'm using it again, I am like insanely happy that there's a percent change because that's exactly what I need it for. So with this, you have your screener that has you have your CSV file that has all your tickers from your screener, and you have the add-in called Stock Connector, and you can use it to connect all the tickers to their current price and their current percent change from yesterday's close. So you have two dynamic columns and one static column. So your static column is the ticker, and your dynamic column is the price and the percent change. I didn't care about the price, so once I connected all those, I actually went through them manually, so it took me quite a long time, but there's a fast way to do it. I would probably use AutoHotkey to speed that up. And it's not a big deal. It takes it takes time, but I mean, this is a patience game. You got to be patient. You shouldn't be in a rush. Okay, so as I was saying, so you have your static column of tickers, and you have your dynamic columns of price and percent change. What you want to do after that, or what I did, was I deleted the price column because it was already within my screener, like what I wanted, my screener filter. From there, uh, I copied the percent changes, the dynamic percent changes. I didn't touch this column afterwards, okay? I just copied the percent changes and I pasted special the values. So what I mean by that is I copied the percent changes and I pressed Control Alt V, and then it would say paste special, and I would click V, and then I would hit enter, and I would get that percent change as a static value that doesn't change, okay? Because I just pasted the values. After that, 5 minutes later, or whatever, a minute later, it doesn't matter, I would do the exact same thing again. but only after I've refreshed that dynamic percent change. So what ends up happening is you have your ticker and you have percent change at time 1, time 2, time 3, time 4, time 5, time 6, time 7. All of a sudden now you can track percent change. This is awesome. So what ends up happening is you get like a lot of lines going everywhere, because when you compare stocks by their percent change, when you compare them by percent change, they're comparable. You're comparing apples to apples. You're not comparing like a $2 stock to an $18 stock, okay? So from there, like I said, you have a mixed up, like you have a lot of lines converging and everything. So what you're looking for, or what I did was I took the data, I highlighted the data, I went to insert in Excel, and then I went to the insert line graph, what was it, chart, what was it, insert line chart, whatever, insert line chart, graph, whatever, and then it comes up, and it looked kind of funky. So what I did was I right-clicked, I went to select data, and I made sure that I clicked switch row and column, and for some reason that cleaned up the data. Okay, and then afterwards, very interesting stuff. You can actually see the percent change being plotted, and now you can catch those stocks that are trending. The percent change is trending downwards or trending upwards. Again, it kind of does look like a stock price, because these are all related to stock prices and they'll have like kind of similar shape for sure. But yeah, it's quite awesome. So once you do that, I'm guessing you'll be like me. The chart it spits out will be quite small. I would suggest that you put the chart at the top, or yeah, I would suggest putting the chart at the top, and whatever amount of tickers you have that you've exported. So I exported today 120 tickers. So you multiply that number 120 by 5. That's the amount of rows that your chart should take up. So I take the right corner, the bottom right corner, and then pull it down to like 600 rows, and it'll go quite fast if you do that. And then you can kind of separate the lines, and you can see through them. You can see the lines much better. And immediately I noticed that you can find some stocks with some awesome trends. And like stocks are not, they're not linear, so you got to be careful using this, but it does work. I would say use this method to select stocks and then use your indicators. And this is a great way. I think that ends my tutorial. Last thing I want to say is, if anybody has a better way of doing this using Python, I personally found that it took really long for Python to load, and I don't know. And I'm pretty sure you have to pay. Like the way I just explained, it's pretty free. You can give a donation, but I don't even do that. Yeah, so the way I've found with Python is like you have to like use an API from someone who supplies the stock exchange information. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll try to add some images to this to make it more exciting rather than just viewing me, but that's pretty much how it goes. That's how I select stocks and for day trading, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.